Hey everyone, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please be sure to follow and leave a 5-star rating. All right, folks, we have to talk about the price of Bitcoin and altcoins because after seeing a massive impulsive move for Bitcoin where it crossed $79,000, we're starting to see a pullback, which is healthy. In the last podcast and as well as my social media posts, I've been highlighting that Bitcoin has been overheated. It's in the overbought zone, the extreme overbought zone where the daily RSI is above 70. Now, by the textbook, many of you know this, that markets are due for a reversal at that point. Likewise, on the bottom end of things, when the market is oversold and it's in the extreme oversold below 30, there's a reversal. So naturally, we're seeing that. However, something that's not in our corner right now, Jim Cramer has turned bullish. So inverse Cramer. So anticipate that this pullback is going to play out, right? Because the market signals are there, the chart signals are there, and Cramer is saying he's bullish. He's saying buy Bitcoin. Now, remember what led up to this impulsive move. The market was in extreme fear. Cramer was on TV saying quantum's going to destroy Bitcoin. He's selling all his Bitcoin. You should sell all your Bitcoin. And pretty much everybody was down on crypto, right? The herd, the majority were like, crypto's not coming back. We still got to wait till October to see something, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden the market did the opposite of the herd. So that's what's been playing out. And as I've said before, markets don't go up in a straight line. So anticipate a correction. Now, the good signals that we want to watch here is that the MACD is still in full control by the bulls on the daily chart. It has not flipped bearish and it's not close to flipping bearish. So that's important. I still believe there's more upside here. So we could see Bitcoin pull back to about $69,000, $70,000, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 67, build a support and then keep going higher. So expect maybe for the remainder, and this is a maybe because I don't have a crystal ball, that for the remainder of August, we are in a pullback phase. Now, what does that mean for the altcoins? Could that send total 3 higher? It's possible. You look at total 3 on the weekly, there's still room to run here. Now, on the daily, everything is overheated, individual altcoins and more. And the Bitcoin weekly chart, that still looks bullish. That still shows room to run. And in fact, the RSI on the weekly is about to break out of that downtrend line here. And the MACD shows the bulls are in control. And of course, the bullish divergence is playing out. So there's a lot of factors on our side. Now, with this pullback that's taking place, you're going to see the bears start to scream, oh, I told you guys it's going to dump to oblivion. We're going down to 30K, right? They're going to start their FUD, right? Because they want their shorts to play out. But I think a lot of them are going to get trapped again and get wrecked like they got wrecked with this impulsive move because the signals are not on their side here. The other factor that is aligning with this move is USDT stablecoin dominance. I was sharing it with you guys for months, right? In the newsletter, on the podcast, a bearish divergence is playing out there. So it's playing out according to what we were talking about from a weekly chart standpoint or time frame. There's still room for this to run further down. The MACD shows the bears are in control on this. So all the signals, as mentioned, are aligning to what we want to see here. But if you go to the daily view, and let me actually jump to that so those of you watching can see what I'm talking about, it is getting to that oversold zone, so you can anticipate a reversal. And of course, the inverse of that is the pullback in the market, right? So it's all cyclical and it runs in parallel, inverse to each other. So I think we got to be patient here, let this play out. Now, something else that's very positive, shout out to Blockchain Backer, great analyst. He highlighted a metric called market breadth, right? So it shows where there's a lot of volume behind the market. And that has awoken, guys, since we topped out in September, October of 2025. That is starting to spike. So it shows the market's waking up. And I know I've been saying we need further confirmation, but it's indicative of the market turning the corner back into a bull market. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to pump to new all-time highs. That's not what I'm saying. If anyone is telling you that, I think they're wrong. I think they're getting too excited because markets move in phases, right? Even if there was an all-time high coming in 2027, we have to stair step our way up there. Just look at the charts. The charts don't go straight up forever. That is not how it works. They pump, pull back, build support, pump, pull back, build support. Sometimes that plays out over months, right? Or years. And not to mention you have sideways action built into that. So please keep all these things in mind. Don't get too excited here. These are very positive signs, and it shows the scales are tipping in our favor, but we still got ways to go before we go to new all-time highs. Now, if you look at individual altcoin charts, they also look great. Look at the XRP chart. It has blasted through the 200-day moving average. It is also overbought, just like Bitcoin. So again, anticipate a pullback. You got the MACD here in control by the bulls, not close to flipping bearish as yet. So again, I think there's more upside here. You look at the same thing for Solana. It looks the same way, right? The charts are all mirroring each other right now because they were all at the baseline of the bottom of the bear market, right? So now they're all coming out. So ETH, same thing. So I think we just got to be patient here, guys. Let the market do its thing, but we are in a very good spot, in my opinion. But watch out for those bears. They're going to be screaming that you're all fools. We're about to go down to 30K and all that, right? But the metrics don't align with what they're saying. If anyone is just sharing vibes with you, ask them for the data. Show me the chart, right? Now, something that's interesting, you're seeing some big time hedge fund guys and macro investors start to flip bullish on crypto again. Ray Dalio, many of you know, legendary investor, says buy a bit of Bitcoin amid potential debt crisis. So I've been telling you guys about the treasury and the buybacks, right? You have the debt situation happening. Now, it's nothing new. This has happened over the years. They just keep raising the debt ceiling, print more money, right? Now they'll make a political spectacle out of it. The mainstream media, it gets people worried, distracted, all that. But it also aligns with the narrative of buying into assets that are more of a hedge against the debasement of currency, right? So Ray Dalio flipping bullish on Bitcoin again. Now, I know some of you are going to say, Tony, he's always been bullish on Bitcoin. Not when gold was pumping. He was saying, go to gold, right? So now he's saying, go to Bitcoin. And look, he also, don't get me wrong, he said, hold some gold as well, rather than holding bonds. So the narrative from these big investors is flipping. And this is where you want to be on the side of smart money, right? Taking your positions before the majority of average dumb money come into the market. And that's not an insult. It's just dumb money stands for people who are not financially educated, who have not taken the time to do the research. They just go with the herd. Oh, this thing is pumping. It means I must go buy it. No, you should have been buying when it was down, right, guys? So I hope you all understand what I'm saying. And a great place where you can buy the dip, guys, is on iTrustCapital. iTrustCapital allows you to invest in crypto, stocks, and precious metals like gold and silver in an IRA account. The reason you want to do it via an IRA is you get tax advantages. When you sell for a gain, you don't have to pay capital gains taxes, whether they're long-term or short-term. So this is a great strategy if you have a long-term view on many of these assets. And if you have an existing 401k or IRA, you can simply roll it over to iTrustCapital's version. And it's low cost, there's no monthly fee. And as mentioned, you get access to all the major asset classes. And for crypto, they have over 100 crypto assets, Bitcoin, all the top altcoins. They have staking as well. They have stable coins. So you can get everything you pretty much get at a typical crypto exchange. They also offer a great custody solution called Premium Custody Account. This uses institutional grade crypto custody such as Coinbase Prime or Fidelity Digital Assets. We know BlackRock uses Coinbase Prime. You would get the same level of custody. So you can sleep at night. You don't have to worry about private keys and all these things. And it's a closed loop system. So if anyone hacks into your account, they can't withdraw funds because it's only set up to go to your bank account. It's low fees. You can go in and out 24/7. So guys, you got to check out iTrustCapital. If you sign up with my link, you can get a $100 funding bonus. And I also put the contact information for my rep at iTrustCapital in the description. So if you want to ask questions as you're signing up, or you want to ask about certain products or whatever it may be, he's there to help you so you can have that hand-holding service. So go to iTrustCapital.com/go/thinkingcrypto to learn more. All right, moving ahead. Apparently, there was this big rumor going around yesterday and today that Donald Trump is about to launch a new coin. And of course, many of you know how I feel about the meme coin Melania launch. Bad optics, horrible, shouldn't have done it, right? But if he was to launch another coin, that would be just disastrous, right? However, Eric Trump, his son, retweeted the news about that and said, "What a joke. This is absolutely not true. No one is launching any kind of coin. If anyone is suggesting otherwise, it's a fraud." Well, Eric, the reason why people would want to believe this is because President Trump already did it. All right. He launched a meme coin. Melania launched a meme coin. It's ridiculous. So I'm glad that he's not launching another one. But obviously, people are looking at the fact that he launched one already. Right. So the president, as I've said before, should not do anything with crypto as far as business is concerned. Get the Clarity Act passed first. And then if his kids want to do that, go ahead. Right. But right now, we need to get the Clarity Act done. So they better not do anything stupid here because Elizabeth Warren is waiting in the corner to use it. Many of the anti-crypto people are waiting to use it. And you got the midterms elections coming up. Imagine them running ads. Look, Trump made X amount of billions of dollars while you're struggling in a bad economy. That's not a good look. And then it also makes people hate crypto because they associate it with Trump versus saying, "Oh, crypto is just a technology," right? What I'm saying here might piss off a lot of people, but it's the truth, right? Democrat, Republican, don't matter. And I'm a independent guy, so I'm not here to support anybody in particular. I'm not trying to go against anybody in particular. Just I got to call it like it is. Call balls and strikes, right? I think for myself and I assess the situation. And I think a lot of you agree with me. The president should back off of all crypto things. The meme coin, just horrible thing. They should burn it with fire. And let's hope he doesn't do anything, or the administration doesn't do anything that self promotes, and we can get the Clarity Act done. But great to hear at least another coin is not coming. Now, Digital Asset, the company behind Canton Network, Paul Ryan Foundation, target U.S. state benefits with Canton pilot. Many of you know I'm very bullish on the Canton Network. I've been accumulating this altcoin in the dips. I remember interviewing the CEO of Digital Asset a year and a half ago. And when I realized who was behind it, a lot of Wall Street firms like Citadel, Goldman Sachs, and more, I was like, okay, I got to take a bet on this. And I told you guys about it, right? So Digital Asset, the creator of Canton Network, and the former U.S. House Speaker Paul Ryan's American Idea Foundation plan to pilot a blockchain-based system for distributing state-administered benefits across the 3 U.S. states using the Canton Network. Couple of things here. Guys, we've talked about UBI, we've talked about digital identity and all these things going on chain. You see the start of it right here, right? You see what's happening. The ball is rolling here. Second, Canton Network getting huge adoption. You got U.S. states and Paul Ryan's foundation, using this. So that's real world adoption, and I'm bullish on Canton Network. So the RISE program, RISE, is expected to launch in the first quarter of 2027 and could combine multiple benefits into monthly or twice monthly payments, with spending rules applied to categories including food, childcare, and cash. According to Friday's announcement, the system would automatically adjust benefit levels as household income changes and allow participating agencies to track payments, balances, spending, and compliance data through Canton. Digital Assets at Canton would coordinate the rules, permissions, and transactions used to distribute benefits while limiting access to sensitive information. Guys, this is a microcosm of UBI right here. We've been talking about it for years, that the governments are going to use the blockchain stablecoin technology to send people payments, whether it be welfare payments, stimulus, UBI, because there's not enough jobs with people getting displaced from AI and robotics. That's coming. So this is something to track both on a personal and macro level, but also crypto level, right? Because if you hold the assets to these chains that are being used, it will benefit you. It's like your golden ticket to bypass some of this, where you don't need to rely on UBI. And don't get me wrong, there are people who are genuinely in hard spots, live in poverty, due to different reasons, and they absolutely need UBI. So I'm not saying people shouldn't get money. What I am concerned about is over time, when they build a system, will it be used against you? We don't like your political views. We don't like what you're saying, right? We're going to cut off your money. That is an absolute danger and risk there. If you're saying it's not, then you don't know history and you don't know human behavior and psychology. So it's a lot of power there. But what we will eventually need to see is that these things align with the US Constitution, which your right to privacy and more. So we got to be vigilant, guys. And I say that maybe not so much for myself, but my daughter, who's 8 years old, will she grow up in a world with this in place and not know the risks, right? So we have to try to prevent it. And again, I'm not saying inherently it's bad. It's a tool that can be used and abused, right? To steal your rights and your freedom. So these are things to think about, but it's being built. And look at the technology. We've been talking about it for years, guys, right? The only way to do UBI, the only way without having fraud and all types of friction and all the things of the legacy problems, blockchain tech, real-time settlement, instant, trackable, verifiable, all that jazz. Okay, moving ahead. Nomura-backed Laser Digital wins Japan's first crypto approval in 4 years. So Laser Digital Japan will offer liquidity to domestic crypto providers, with institutional trading services planned to follow as the appetite for crypto in Japan grows. I don't need to say anything else. You guys, you see what's happening across the globe. Everybody trying to get their licenses, establish themselves. And again, it's not for retail. The on-ramps have been built for retail. They're building it for the big money, the banks, stock exchanges, asset managers, hedge funds, and more. So I hope you see what is happening. This is why I'm bullish long-term, that despite the ebbs and flows, the volatility we see short-term, these blockchains are going to grow in value, and so will their native tokens, guys. So incredible to see the on-ramps being built for the big money. Now, BounceBit to sunset blockchain migrate to BNB chain after $3 million exploit. First up, I've never heard of BounceBit, and this is a microcosm of what's to come when you have so many blockchains out there. Not everything's going to be a winner, right? I've said that over the years. You're going to have a lot of them are going to die and sunset, and they will probably end up merging with other bigger chains and established chains. So not every blockchain out there is decentralized, is in a good position, has great security, right? So this is where you need to do your research when you invest. So again, I've never heard of BounceBit, but they got exploited and now they gotta move. So don't be surprised. We see more and more of this as quantum becomes a bigger thing. The crypto market grows, so more hackers, more bad actors start focusing on it. Like, oh, wait, what's going on with this blockchain? Let me go exploit them because they seem weak. They don't have a lot of validators, all the all respective things that established, well-secure blockchains have. So there could be a lot of this, guys. So just be mentally prepared because you're going to see headlines, you're going to see FUD, but this is the nature of markets. Same thing happened in the dot-com boom. There were your great companies like your Googles, your eBays, your Amazons, and they were your crap companies. Didn't have any type of business model, didn't have any revenue generating. They were raising tons of capital, running lots of ads, and we know what happened. They all folded, right? So you're going to see that happen here, guys. So just be mentally prepared to answer the questions to different people and that you're emotionally ready because you may see a bunch of headlines. This blockchain goes down. It's gone forever, blah, blah, blah. The natural part of the business cycle. Final news item, crypto advocates join in suing Illinois over the digital asset tax. Now, I had Cody Carbone of the Digital Chamber on, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about it, where the Digital Chamber was the first to sue the state, where the governor is going to implement this boneheaded tax. And I told you all, I did the research. This guy is connected to Elizabeth Warren. So you know that idea came from anti-crypto Elizabeth Warren. But they're going to get sued, right? And any other state that tries to do this, they're going to get sued. It is draconian. It's nonsense. And they're not doing this for any other industry or payment rails, just crypto. So get the hell out of here. The governor should be ashamed of himself. He looks like a buffoon. But, Elizabeth Warren, maybe he's cutting some checks for him, helping him out with some campaign stuff. So he's like, oh yeah, I'll do this, right? But we know he didn't wake up like, oh yeah, let me do this tax. He was seeded from the likes of Elizabeth Warren and others. So I'm glad that he's well. Let me give you the news. Two other associations, the Crypto Council for Innovation and the Blockchain Association, are joining to sue the hell out of the state of Illinois for this boneheaded crypto tax, which violates the U.S. Constitution. And apparently it violates the Illinois Constitution and Internet Tax Freedom Act. So they're going to get destroyed. This is against the law. But again, this is because Elizabeth Warren's pulling the strings. All right, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. Be sure to support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free on Substack. Check out my book on Amazon. Grab a copy. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto and blockchain tech. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.